What's up, guys? Mickle here, and Jeremy Hogan just caught the SEC in a massive lie. In this video, I want to go over what Jeremy Hogan just exposed because it is one of the biggest issues the crypto industry has with the SEC right now. I also want to talk about some XRP price predictions towards the end of this video. I want to go over how big of a market Ripple alone is addressing with XRP and talk about when we could finally see a big move in XRP's price because there is a chart that is showing something very significant. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. You're not going to want to miss it. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things are going to go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. Uphold is my favorite place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video off and talk about one of the craziest narratives the SEC is trying to put forth right now because Jeremy Hogan just went out of his way to completely expose it. I want to start off by just showing you a clip of Gary Gensler saying it himself, just to give you guys a good idea of exactly what is being said, and I think it's going to just make it seem all the more absurd, so listen up closely to this.
These firms, Kraken knew how to register, others know how to register. It's just a form on our website.
So right here, we see Gary Gensler, and I've heard him say this a lot. Come in and register, there's a form on our website, it's nice and easy, it's not hard. He's making it sound like these cryptocurrency companies have a clear path to come in, register with the SEC, and get their business regulated. Now, if this was the case, and if this was true, then I would put a lot of blame on these crypto exchanges. I have talked about in previous videos how I thought the product Kraken was offering was actually a security. The way they were putting their staking product forward, they weren't actually purely giving their users staking rewards. They were actually using lending to try to make the staking rewards higher, and therefore users were counting on Kraken to give them the yield and not just the underlying protocol. Because of this, I said Kraken's product was a security. So if Gary Gensler was correct in saying there was an easy way for Kraken to come in and register, then I would put it on Kraken for not going in and registering with the SEC. But what we are finding out right now from Jeremy Hogan, and honestly from a lot of different players who have been sued by the SEC, is there is absolutely zero way to actually register. Jeremy Hogan tweeted out today, "I've spent a couple days looking for this simple form on the SEC website with no luck. Once I find it, all those $500 an hour security lawyers are going to be out of business." And what Jeremy Hogan is pointing out here is that Gary Gensler is lying when he is saying there is an easy way for crypto companies to come in and register. Now, this is something I have not only heard from Jeremy Hogan, but something I heard from Kraken and Library as well. Jesse Powell actually tweeted out in response to this and said, "Oh, I wish I knew I could just fill out a form. I would have done that instead of eating a $30 million lawsuit." What he was doing here was he was being sarcastic. He was saying, of course, if there was a form, I would have filled it out. Why would I take a $30 million lawsuit if I could just fill out a form and register with the SEC? This goes to the point that none of these crypto companies are refusing to register with the SEC. The SEC is saying you have to come in and register, but once they come in to register, there's no actual way to do that. Essentially, it's a dead end. Once people come in and start talking to the SEC starts making them give them information about their business and then hits them with a lawsuit. It's a dead end. It's a trap. That's why almost every single lawyer in the industry comes out and says the best thing you can do to deal with the SEC is hide from them. It's a dead end, and Jeremy Hogan is pointing out this exact fact. And I thought this was pretty funny. Attorney Fred actually responded to this. He said, "Terrible searching skills. Here's the form for any crypto company to submit the details of its business operations for fast-track, fully compliant regulation by the SEC. And if we click on the link, it takes us directly to the report suspected securities fraud or wrongdoing." Essentially saying, there's no way to register if you're a crypto company in the US. All you're doing is telling the SEC, hey, put me next in line for your next lawsuit. Guys, it's absolutely disgusting, and I think the worst part about this is not even that there's no way to register, but that Gary Gensler is going on live TV trying to trick these different crypto companies to come in and give out all their information. Now, I do ultimately think this is going to have to change. This is not something you can just keep doing without people really catching on, and honestly, it's just a horrible look for him in general. Someone tweeted out earlier today, and I thought this was so true. This is something I can't really wrap my head around. Someone tweeted out earlier today that there are 40 million people in the United States who are voters who hold cryptocurrency. This is extremely bad politics by Gary Gensler, and honestly, it just doesn't make any sense. He would go down as one of the best SEC commissioners if he just created a way for cryptocurrency companies to register with the SEC. They would all come in, they would register, and they would get the regulation they were looking for. But instead, he's creating traps. He's trying to trick them, and he's trying to take their money. I really do hope this is something that gets Gary Gensler investigated. We haven't seen much action on that yet. We've heard talks that it will happen, but ultimately, until he starts feeling the pressure, this is just going to keep happening. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you would know this is something I have said repeatedly. And it's important to point out that the SEC's behavior around cryptocurrencies has never made any sense. We know that when the SEC first gave Ethereum its free pass, they were saying, oh, well, it's just because Ethereum's really decentralized, therefore we really don't see it as a security. Well, Stephen Hubert tweeted out earlier today, and this is pretty shocking, and personally, I don't think Ethereum's a security, but it's stuff like this that just shows you the SEC was giving Ethereum a free pass purely because they were paid off to do it, and it had nothing to do with fundamentals. Stephanie Hubert tweeted out earlier today that the Ethereum code base, 70% of it was contributed to it by only 10 developers. The SEC talks about how decentralized Ethereum is, how it's so decentralized they can't see any centralized party, yet only 10 developers wrote 70% of the code. This is significantly less than the XRP ledger, and it just shows that the SEC was purely making stuff up when they decided to give Ethereum its free pass. I thought it was pretty funny, and this is kind of a kickback to something I tweeted out a while ago, but it just goes further to show the SEC is so arbitrary they make stuff up on the fly, and this right here just plays perfectly into that. I actually tweeted this out over a year ago, so many of you probably haven't even seen this, but what it is it's a memo from Perkins Coie, the law firm that gave Ethereum its free pass through the SEC, and what we see is back in 2013, they actually did an analysis of some of the different cryptocurrencies on the market and stated whether they were decentralized or centralized, and what we can see is right here, they have XRP, or at the time it was called Ripple, as a decentralized cryptocurrency. Guys, how crazy is that? The SEC gave Ethereum a free pass based on its decentralization, said that other cryptocurrencies were securities because they weren't as decentralized as Ethereum, and then they choose to sue the one cryptocurrency, XRP, that was already stated as decentralized before Ethereum ever existed. It's completely absurd. It just shows that the SEC doesn't care what they say. They don't care what they do. They will say anything to get what they want in that given moment, and that is exactly what Gary Gensler is doing in these clips. And guys, I want to finish this video off and go over a tweet by 24 Hours Crypto and then an XRP price chart, but I think this is really important to see. 24 Hours Crypto tweeted out, "Dear XRP community, in 2022, it cost $120 billion and on average took 2 to 3 days in settlement time to move $23.5 trillion across borders. If you don't hold XRP, I feel bad for you." And what he is pointing out here is there is a massive amount of demand for a crypto asset or an asset in general like XRP. Right here, this is only a problem that Ripple is solving with XRP. What 24 Hours Crypto explains here is not the total market cap that XRP can address. This is one solution that Ripple is using XRP to address. There are a massive amount of financial products that need to be brought into the 21st century, and XRP is the perfect asset to do that. I hope this just shows you that right here we are only looking at one solution that Ripple offers using XRP, and we are already talking about $23.5 trillion. So many people look at the price of crypto assets and say, oh, it can't get to this price, it can't get to this price because the market cap would be this. All of that is so insignificant in my opinion, because we are talking about an asset that is really going to contain the value of all the money on planet Earth. And of course, it's not all going to be in XRP. It's going to be distributed to blockchain in general, but I have a feeling XRP will be able to capture a very significant portion of the value. And this right here just shows that it is so much bigger than many people expect. I want to finish this video off and quickly go over an XRP price chart. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is a chart I've been pointing out for a while. It's a massive triangle pattern the XRP price has been coiling up in. Now, for those of you who don't know, all this shows is that the lows have been getting higher, the highs have been getting lower, and typically on patterns like this, eventually one side breaks and there is a massive moment of volatility to the upside or downside. Well, what this is pointing out right here is that at the very end of this symmetrical triangle, Friday, March 31st, 2023, that is actually the date that James K. Filan predicted we would get a decision by Judge Torres in the Ripple SEC case. Now, obviously, we are probably not going to get a decision on the exact date James K. Filan predicted. But what this shows us is we are really entering a sweet spot, a very interesting time where we could get a decision in the Ripple SEC case at any moment, and it would coincide perfectly with this formation we're currently watching on XRP. Let's see how it plays out, but guys, we know eventually XRP will make a big move. It's been moving sideways for a while, and after XRP moves sideways for a while, well, I think we all know what happens next. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.